Welcome to Audible Sportscast, your home for all things sports. How's it going, everybody? Brett and Jeff here. How's it going, Brett?
I'm doing excellent. I'm so excited for these NBA playoffs.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of NBA playoffs to talk about today. Play-in tournaments kind of going on right now, so we're going to talk a little bit about the play-in, but it won't be probably as maybe accurate per se with kind of how things are going because, by the time you hear this, it's going to already be done. But hey,
Yeah, but most people don't even know what the play-in tournament. This is new.
that is true. This is the third year since they've done it. They added it the year of the bubble, the asterisk.
No, I know, but it's still relatively in its infancy in the
That's
NBA.
true.
So
I mean, I honestly kind of forgot that the lowest or the highest seed has to play two games, and I made some very dumb bets because of that. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'll get $1 million chance here, or not $1 million, but you get the gist. But hey, welcome everyone to All Sportscast. Before we actually get down into the basketball, just want to put a little rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins, who, if you don't know, NFL player for the Steelers, got into. He had some very horrible things happen to him. He ended up dying, getting ran over by a dump truck, correct?
some kind of large. I thought it was a cement truck, but either way, it was a giant truck that left him no chance of survival.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate what happened, and just keep your loved ones close. Rest in peace to Dwayne, and hopefully maybe hey, he was part of the Steelers. Maybe now they're gonna go on a run for him, and I hope they do. I normally not a fan of the Steelers, but with Mitch there and now with that, I might actually root for them a little bit this year. So we'll see. But rest in peace, Dwayne, and prayers out to his family. Yeah, prayers out to his family. But let's go right into some basketball. So round one starts this weekend, and there's I would normally each year by this point we kind of know who the top couple teams are, and I've said this before, I really don't know who's gonna make it out of any of these rounds other than maybe one of them. But
Let me let me ask you a question here. Who is, in your opinion, the best team in the East and the best team in the West? Not off record.
well, I think you should rephrase that question. Who's the healthiest? I would say, because I would say the Celtics are the best team, but Robert Williams right now being hurt, not really a timetable of when he can return questions them being the top team in the East. The Heat obviously are up there, Philadelphia, but same with the West. CP3 is coming back, kind of, but who knows how that's going to go? And then they're a, a little banged up, so how. Same with the Warriors. So it's like who's it?
You're forgetting about like Dallas.
I mean, yeah, Dallas right now. Luke, there's no time. Literally earlier today, they said there's no timetable on Luka.
He'll play. And then
If if he
out
doesn't,
of the
they are.
East, I mean, we're, I live in Milwaukee, but yes, I am a Bulls fan. But can anyone stop Giannis?
That's a rhetorical question, right? I don't need to
I
answer
know
that.
no one can.
It's obvious.
So if he
No one
shows up
can.
like he did last year, they got a good shot at making it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And keep in mind, the first team, like the total number one seed, almost never makes it to the finals. So watch out, Suns. Just a fair warning. But let's go through
Let's
some.
keep her moving.
Yeah, let's go through some of these games. So the play-in tournament, I mean, starts tonight, but this will come out a little bit later. So let's go through some of these and who we think is gonna win. So first round, or not first round, but first game up, we have the Brooklyn Nets, the supposed best team in basketball coming out of the preseason, versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. This team, no one expected to be here, but some injuries are the reason why they're this low when they could. I would honestly say they're a lot better than some of the teams that are in the, like, for sure in the playoffs. if they were healthy, of course. But how do you see this going, Brett?
All said and done, I think I agree with you, actually.
Agree with me with what part?
The injury aspect.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I mean that injuries can kill everyone.
I mean, every year everyone's always says, "Oh, put an asterisk on the NBA champions because the other team gets hurt."
Well, actually, I'm gonna let you pick this one
I
first.
because of the injury issues with the Cavs, I want them to win, and I don't know how. The Nets are one of those teams where if one guy doesn't show up, aka KD, can they win? I mean, they can't even win when he shows up half the time. But I'm gonna go with Nets. They kind of have the benefit of the doubt, only having to win one game versus two. So
I gotta go with the Cavs, just because
ooh.
I think the Nets are the biggest threat in the East. If Kyrie and Durant are playing at a high level, they are. Because honestly, I'm as much as Kyrie has played all these shenanigans and other off the court things to do. I'm not going to go into detail, but I think he's a top 50 NBA player if he would have played normal his whole career and not had injuries.
Top 50 all time.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think he's even better than Derrick Rose.
Well, I would say because of what Derrick. I mean, we never got to see the true Derrick Rose, but I would definitely say he's better. That's
even with the, I think even healthy to healthy, I think he's just a more his ball handling, his flexibility, his shooting.
yeah. I'll give that to you.
I mean, Derrick Rose was just more explosive with dunking, and his shot got better, but I don't know.
So you're saying because the Nets are so explosive, you want the Cavs to win because you fear so
Correct.
okay, that's one way to go with it.
I think they are. I think they're the most feared late seed, by far.
I would say so. They definitely. I mean, anytime
In both conferences, they're the most feared play-in matchup team.
I I'll I maybe disagree with that only because well that's a TBD. We'll talk about them later. But I mean I definitely agree. The Nets are definitely one of those teams that are up there. And if there wasn't all those situations they had, Kyrie and then the split up situation, who they would be one of those higher seeds. But Cade.
And Ben Simmons is out, right?
Yeah, he is not going to play in the play-in. I completely forgot he's on the team, but
Me too.
he won't play in the play-in, so that's kind of and then he might play in the first round. So, and if he plays, how is he going to play?
But does he even bring anything to
We'll
the
have to see
table?
about that
I don't
because
know.
if the Nets win, they will play the Celtics. So they're gonna need a Ben Simmons within that game. I would say with that. So we'll see. But yeah, okay, you got Cavs, I got Nets. All right, the next playing game we got the Atlanta Hawks playing the Charlotte Hornets. After it's always about who's the hottest. I feel like, and right now Charlotte's been playing lights out the last couple of games. I mean, they beat Miami. They completely steamrolled over Chicago. They played a couple other games, but I can't tell you what happened. But I'm going to go Hornets. The Hawks, I think they rely. The Hawks have been just stagnant, I feel like. They had all this hype coming into the season, and now
They got no pieces to help Young.
They
Nothing.
got some things, but they just haven't played at the ability I feel like they could have. I mean, John Collins, Hooter,
I just see LaMelo is everything his dad said he would be. And for a while, I thought the balls were just this big, gimmicky pile of junk. It just did. And Lonzo's come along a way, but LaMelo is still the best out of the three. And he's still young. And he's still learning. And he's going to fill out. And he will be. You know how they rank, top 5 players in the NBA currently. In the next 3 years, he'll be in it.
I can see that. Maybe not 3 years. Let's see who retires maybe in the 3 year span. But because what in the next 3 years, Giannis,
LeBron will still be included. So Giannis, LeBron,
what about guys like Luka?
Luka, Jokic. I like him a lot, but I don't know if he's not a guy who can continue this play every year.
Well, maybe if he had a little bit more help this year,
exactly. Once he gets some help, his everything goes down on him. And then I don't know if you include Kawhi.
Which will benefit.
Right now you do, but Kawhi hasn't been the same.
Hey, don't forget about Steph.
No, I didn't. Yeah,
Steph
but
is still playing at a high level.
LaMelo shot is getting better, where he's going to be shooting like Steph, like percentage like Steph. His ball.
No one. I don't.
His ball handling's better. His rebounding's better. His passing's better.
Yeah, we'll see how the Hornets play out. Let's see if maybe Michael Jordan and company can put some really good pieces around him. So. We'll see. And
you don't think Jordan's been working with him? I'm sure.
I would hope so, or at least Then again, who knows? Maybe his dad always shows up and tries to one on.
No, his dad's banned. No, his dad's banned because he pissed Jordan off.
Can you blame him?
Nope.
Exactly. But so that's the play-in from the East. So now let's get into that final first round. So. First matchup, the number 1 seed Miami Heat are going to play. For you, they're going to play the Cavs. No, wait, no, I take that back. For both of us, they're going to play the Hornets. So Heat Hornets.
I say the Heat in 4.
Heat in 4? You talking up all this about the Hornets and you don't even give them one game?
Nope.
Wow, that's. I mean, I'd say Heat in 5. I'm gonna give them a game, but come on, man.
They're young.
Yeah, that's true, Miami. But at the same time, Miami.
And they're gonna put and they'll put Jimmy buckets on Melo, and I think that'll at his age he's not as physical. I don't know. Okay, fine. Heat in 5. That's what I'll say. Heat in 5.
All right, Heat in 5. We'll both take Heat in 5. Okay, that's fair. I think that'll be a fun matchup, though. With just both of those teams are so maybe not versatile, but they can move it around. It's not. Yeah, we're talking a lot about LaMelo, but there's other guys there. I mean, hey, Isaiah Thomas is on the Hornets bench. Don't forget, he doesn't get a lot of playing time.
He still exists.
He still exists. He doesn't really play, and he's not at a level he used to be, but he's still there.
Ever since he left Boston, he never was at that level again.
It's unfortunate what they did.
I don't know if it was a scheme.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, it's sad. He was scoring 40 a game a lot. He was just money.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised they never signed him back.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. Every once in a while, NBA Twitter tries to get them to, but
yeah,
that's business for you. Next team up, we got I think probably the most heated section coming out of the East. We got the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Toronto Raptors.
I want to see the Raptors win, but I'm saying it's a sweep by the Sixers.
You going with a sweep? I think this can go to 6 games.
I don't.
Philadelphia is known for blowing it in the playoffs, so I want to give them I'm giving it a close matchup. It's probably going to be.
Now, if they didn't have Harden, I would say they don't have the pieces to stop either one of 76ers studs.
That's true. but that's a team. I've always been a fan of the Raptors.
They are a
Gary
team, yes.
Trent, I think for a month was averaging like almost 30 points a game for them. I'm a fan of that team, and it'll be. I mean, think about what they've kind of endured this year. I mean, didn't they? No, wait, that was last year. They played in Miami for or Tampa. I forget. They played somewhere in Florida for a little while, but Kyle Lowry left. They kind of everyone thought that's the end of their season, or not everyone, but it'll be. I don't know. It'll be a fun matchup, but you keep talking all these sweeps, but I feel like you're gonna keep that going with this next one. We got our Chicago Bulls finally making it back to the playoffs since 2017, going against the defending champions.
See, this I was thinking sweep, and I am in Milwaukee. I live in a suburb, but I'm a Bulls fan, and then the Bucks would be my second team. But I think the Bulls can win 2 games only if I'm not worried about DeRozan's play. It's LaVine and who else?
Vucevic?
Yes. He can't get worked like he did the last time they played against Lopez. And
like he does against almost any higher tiered center, even middle to high tier. That's true, and I mean Zach's obviously been having some injury lingers,
yeah.
And that's not helping him. But he's still out there fighting, and I love.
But you got to think the Bulls have some animosity towards the Bucks because of the Grayson Allen situation.
Yeah, well, they yet to beat him since that or yet to beat the Bucks since that has happened. But I'm gonna give him a game. I'm gonna say Bucks in 5. Unfortunately, I love that the Bulls made it, and it's a step in the right direction. I'd love to see what they do this offseason. And yes, we're maybe shooting them down early, and that's maybe some of that hateful, animosity of a fan we are. But it's the reigning champs. It's the Bucks. There's a reason why they're good, and they're just. I mean, like we said earlier, who's gonna stop Giannis?
Not Vucevic.
I mean, I don't know if anyone on the Bucks, let alone. I don't know if anyone on the Bulls.
I don't want DeRozan guarding him because that's foul trouble for him. I think it's Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I mean Patrick Williams was kind of up for it last time they played, so we'll see.
And he's athletic. Yeah, very athletic.
Once Patrick Williams starts getting a lot more confident and comfortable, I think next year, like I said, this year, obviously we didn't get to see a lot of it because of his injury, but next year will be a big year for him if he wants to take a step in the right.
Hold on, if people like Kobe White show up and we can get some if we can get some threes going, because that's where Milwaukee's been struggling. If we can start getting the high percentage threes, we have a chance, but I don't. Lately,
the Bulls will need a lot of help from their bench, and that's something throughout the year they've struggled with was
because we don't have one.
Exactly. So we'll see.
Well, hold on. Io is a big factor too. So
yeah, but he's been someone who's been forced into the starting role, and that's kind of some miss out for some of that. Bench.
Hopefully, he doesn't miss any layups against the Bucks again.
It was just like third straight fast break. I know what you're talking about. It's okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. We got the final matchup from the East. We have the Boston Celtics going up against, for me, the Nets, and for you, the Cavs.
Boston in 5.
I think this can go to 7 games with the Nets, not for the Cavs.
No, I'm saying the Cavs. Boston in 5.
I think this will go to 7 games, but Boston wins out against the Nets. That's a tough. But if Ben Simmons doesn't play, and then maybe Robert Williams comes back, that defense for the Celtics that's a good defensive team. And they have 2 stars there. I mean, yeah, Tatum has been at least known for my sake to disappear in the playoffs, but let's see it. I don't know why I'm always high on the Celtics, probably because Brad Stevens, the old Butler coach, is part of the team there. But I don't know. Maybe the Celtics team can finally show up and get deep in the playoffs, and hey, maybe they can even go to the finals. We'll see. It's a deep East. I can honestly say any of these teams, except for maybe the Bulls, just because of how bad they've been playing recently, can make it out of the East. So we'll see. That's why I'm kind of questioning why you're having so many sweeps. But hey, that's the East for you. Let's move on to.
I just think it's going to continue, I think, and where we're going next. So.
All right, well, we'll see. Let's move on to the West here. We have in the play-in tournament the Timberwolves playing against the Clippers, who the Clippers, I think, if they can get out of this play-in tournament and maybe, depending on that, there's reports that Kawhi could potentially play depending on how deep they can go, and with a healthy Paul George, and that team is not that bad, especially with Paul George. I could see them.
I'm going Clippers
I am
on that
too.
one.
I mean, I love the Timberwolves are in this situation.
I think they're the dark horse of that. Yeah, the dark horse in the West. Sorry for the yawn, folks.
Yeah, that's just how bored you are of this matchup with Timberwolves and the Clippers. But I gotta agree. The Clippers, they're the team I was mentioning earlier of them healthy. They're of the later seeds. They're definitely the team to beat. So yeah, I gotta go Clippers in this. Next we have Pelicans without a Zion Williams. Keep in mind this whole time versus San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs have just been I don't know. What do you think? CJ McCollum on the Pelicans has been balling
I think
out.
the Pelicans have more talent, and I think the Pelicans are going to win that one.
Here's the thing: does Popovich retire if they lose this?
Maybe. It's
Coach K
it's
retires.
about time.
Popovich retires. Who's gonna coach the USA's men's basketball team in
woman.
3 years? Hey, there you go. I like it. Moving on. Yeah, I'm gonna go Pelicans too. But moving on.
No, I'm serious.
Oh,
It's about time.
But next up, we have number 1 seed, total number 1 seed. Keep in mind, like what I was talking about earlier, with Phoenix Suns, and they will be playing against the Pelicans.
Sweep.
Suns in 4, just like last year. I mean, that Suns team.
Unless they hurt Devin Booker, otherwise, sweep.
Well, we don't talk about injuries on here. You knock on wood right now, and I want to hear it.
Nope.
Well, you better hope Devin Booker doesn't go down. But I mean, that's ever since the last season ended, they were kind of the team to make it back. So, and they're just as deep as it's a deep team. It's a good team, and I like them, but I don't know necessarily if they'll go back. We'll see. But it's top heavy in the West, so we'll see. Next up, we talked about Luka earlier. We have the Mavs going against the Jazz here. The Jazz are one of those teams that I feel like are maybe an early round exit away from another rebuild. And then with the Mavs hurt, this is a very, very interesting matchup.
The Mavs in 6.
I'm gonna go Mavs in 7.
Luka's gonna play. He's gonna play.
If Luka plays, I like what that team did. Trading for Spencer Dinwiddie, getting that someone like him, and getting someone like Kristaps Porzingis out of there who just is unreliable. And I'm gonna like it when this team makes a little bit of a run here. But that all depends on how Luka plays and if he plays and all of that. But the Jazz just can't. They're a really good team, and
they've got some pieces, but then their bench is bad, and
it's a very interesting team. I mean, their bench is bad. What are you talking about? They got like 2 of the 6 men of the year from last year. But anyway, that's besides the point. That was last year. This is this year. Let's move on to the next game that I should go one way, but we'll see what you think. We have the Warriors of Golden State going against the Nuggets of Denver.
That's a tough one because of one person, and it's
Nick
not Curry.
Jokic?
Who did they? Green can't cover him.
That is true.
No one on them can cover. Here's what it's going to come down to: can the Golden State Warriors get back to their old form of just outscoring their opponents by drilling outside shots?
And they have seemed to have added a new splash brother in Jordan Poole. He's been playing really good with, the
You
injuries
forget
they've
about
had.
guys like Wiggins too.
That is true. That team has a lot of
I think
high-
this might be the most talented Golden State talent on the team.
and that's without,
Golden
their
State Warriors we've
first-round
ever
pick
seen.
from last year, James Wiseman, who people are, maybe calling a bust because of his health
Mhm.
issues. But imagine if they either picked the right person imagine if they picked LaMelo Ball. Oh my gosh.
Would have been crazy.
Because that was kind of a debate. But then again, how would that roll? It would be interesting, but, hey, what if? That's not for us to do. That's for Marvel to make TV shows on. But, yeah, I got to go Warriors here. I don't know if anyone can cover Jokic, but just there's so much potential high offensive power on the Warriors. I can't see it going the other way.
Nope, me neither.
I mean, there's a reason why I have the Warriors as
But I think
potentially my team
I think
to
they win one
it all.
game. Actually, 1 or 2 games.
I could see them winning
Yeah.
2, honestly.
But Jokic
Not
has
gonna
got to
lie.
score 40
But-
to win those games.
40 with 20 assists.
40, 20,
games.
15, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Moving
But-
on.
Next up, we have the final matchup of the first round. We have the Memphis Grizzlies going against the LA Clippers. The true team of LA.
I'm going Clippers all day.
Yeah. I don't know. That Memphis team is very hot. And
Paul George is really hot.
is he though? I agree that, but is Kawhi gonna play? Is Kawhi gonna be able to play that first round?
If he doesn't play, then that really disappoints me in his character on how good I thought he actually.
If Kawhi plays, I think the Clippers can win this, but that's if he plays, and I'm not sure he does. I'm gonna go Grizzly in 7.
Clippers in 5.
Sounds like we have a little mismatch there. I like it. The John Morant for a while was in the MVP conversation. Obviously, he's up there for most improved. That whole team.
But if Kawhi plays, can Kawhi shut him down?
Maybe not. Will Kawhi be full up on his being able to play a 40-minute game?
I don't know. Not sure. We'll have to see. That's what's exciting about this. To me, this is
That is
more
true.
exciting than the NCAA tournament. I'm not going to lie.
Not really. Even with that 15 seed St. Petersburg.
St. Peter's.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Yeah, because now it comes down to the elite of the elite playing against each other.
That's true, but who's the elite of the elite out of all this bunch? There's some top teams, but I think we've started seeing it
It's not the Heat, even though they're the 1 seed. I think it is Phoenix. And then Phoenix to me is the only elite team at the moment.
Interesting. That is a very interesting take.
Think about it though. They kept that. They played the same all year.
Oh, but
They didn't have any lows.
not
really.
little bit when CP3 was hurt, and
Okay, and how many wins do they have? 60
yeah,
some.
they still.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They've had a lead, and there's been no fluctuation with it. Like a lot of times that happens between the 1 and the 2 and the 3 seed, not in the West.
When's the last time a total number 1 seed has won it all?
Golden State,
In what year?
That I can't tell you. Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan played for them. Uh,
Yeah, it's been a couple years to say the least since a number one overall.
I know.
So we'll see if that trend continues. Will Phoenix be able, and not only since they've won it, since they've been to the finals. That's another thing. There's one thing to get there, but the last couple years, the total number one seed hasn't even made it, let alone one.
I mean, my favorite for the West isn't Phoenix. It's Dallas. Only because I like Luka. Luka's one of my favorite players in the NBA. And I think once he matures and gets a little older, I think he will be the best player in the NBA.
I can see it a lot of. I mean, that's kind of the way it seems like it's going. I'd like to see some people maybe head down to Dallas that you don't expect to see. Let's see some Mark Cuban magic going down in Dallas.
Well, that's why what's nice is I can always watch Luka in Dallas because he'll never leave
That is
unless Mark Cuban sells the team, which is never going to happen.
unless he loses a deal on Shark Tank to completely sell all his assets. I don't think he's going to sell that team unless something terrible no. Even if he becomes president, he'll just let someone else take control of it for a while.
He has no interest in it, but
I
moving on.
I mean,
I'm just super excited
me.
for this to start watching because I watched a lot of NBA this year, but I want to watch all these games
Oh yeah,
because I think there's going to be some really incredible stuff.
I agree.
And I mean, hey, if you want if you want to know what my heart wants, I want to see the Bulls make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But the odds of that are probably 1 in 100. So
Probably. Actually, for them to win the championship, it's plus 10,000. I think.
we'll see if DeRozan has some gas left in the tank to prove everyone wrong who doubted him. And Levine.
We'll see. I would love to see it. But they gotta start with the reigning champs. So it'll be fun. I can't wait to watch all these games. I can't wait, to tweet about them. I'll be tweeting long watching these games. So make sure to follow us on Twitter. All our social medias will be linked below.
And we'll keep you updated every couple days, guys.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try to do some. Every round, try to do some more games. It'll be difficult once, some teams start sweeping and whatnot. But, hey, you let us do what we do, and we'll give you the best we got. So everyone go out there, watch some basketball, have good times. It's starting to get warmer if you're in some colder places, around the areas that you live in. And just, hey, enjoy life. That's all I can tell you to do.
And if you feel like it, go out in the driveway and just take a couple shots and then yell Kobe.
Shots on the basketball, not shots. You get it. Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Audible Sportscast, your home for all things sports.